Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about something that I think a lot of us are searching for.
Yeah.
And that is chill.
Yeah.
Like finding those moments of peace and quiet.
It's definitely something that a lot of us are craving these days.
Right. And so we came across this document all about these portable diffusers. Have you heard about these?
Oh, yeah.
So they basically use aromatherapy and ambient light to kind of like create this spa-like vibe wherever you go.
Interesting.
I'm kind of intrigued, but I'm also a little bit skeptical, you know?
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm not really sure like how much of it is hype and how much of it is like real science.
I think it's good to be skeptical with these kinds of wellness products.
Absolutely. So that's where you come in, you know?
Right.
You can help us break down this document, figure out what it's claiming, and then tell us if there's any real evidence to support it.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so ready to take a deep dive into the world of essential oils and mood lighting.
Let's do it.
Perfect. Now the document jumps right into the benefits, talking about how these diffusers can help with stress and anxiety and sleep problems.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I think it's important to understand like how aromatherapy actually works.
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
Like, what are these essential oils really all about? Are they just nice smells, or is there something more going on?
Well, it's definitely more than just a nice smell. You see, these essential oils are derived from plants, and they contain these potent compounds that actually interact with our olfactory system.
Olfactory system.
Yeah, our sense of smell.
Oh, right.
In case anyone needed a refresher. So when we inhale these compounds, they travel to the limbic system in our brain.
Okay, hold on, remind me again. What is the limbic system all about?
Basically, think of it as the emotional control center of your brain. It plays a key role in processing emotions, memories, even certain behaviors. So the idea is that by introducing specific scents, we can actually kind of influence our mood and emotional state.
So it's not just about like masking bad smells with good ones. We're talking about actually triggering a physiological response in our brains.
Exactly, that's the idea. Now, the document actually highlights a specific study
Oh, interesting.
from the University of Edinburgh. And in this study, participants who inhaled lavender essential oil before bed reported significant improvements in their sleep quality compared to a control group.
So there's actual research backing this up.
Yeah, there's definitely some evidence to support the calming effects of lavender.
That's fascinating, but I'm curious, like on a more technical level, what's actually happening in our brains when we smell these scents?
Well, it all comes down to neurotransmitters, those chemical messengers that transmit signals between nerve cells in our brain.
Right.
Different scents can actually trigger the release of different neurotransmitters. For example, lavender is thought to increase levels of GABA, which is the neurotransmitter that promotes relaxation and reduces anxiety. And then on the other hand, you have something like peppermint oil, which is thought to stimulate the release of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that's associated with alertness and focus.
So different scents, different neurotransmitters, different effects.
You got it. And this is where it gets even more interesting, because the document then goes on to talk about how these portable diffusers combine aromatherapy with ambient light.
Right, the light. I was just getting to that. That seems like a key part of the equation.
Absolutely. Light plays a crucial role in regulating our circadian rhythm, which is basically our internal clock that governs our sleep-wake cycle.
Right.
Warm, soft light, like what these diffusers emit, tends to promote relaxation and prepare our bodies for sleep.
So it's kind of like mimicking the setting sun.
Exactly, and it's the opposite of what we get from our screens, which emit that harsh blue light that keeps us wired and alert. So the idea with these diffusers is to create this calming atmosphere, not just through the scent, but through the light as well.
Okay, so we've got the essential oils working on the brain's emotional center, and we've got the calming light setting the mood. It's like a 1-2 punch of relaxation.
It's a multi-sensory approach.
But how do these portable diffusers actually work? What's the technology behind them?
Well, they typically use ultrasonic vibrations to create a fine mist of water and essential oil, which disperses the scent into the air. And then they also incorporate LED lights that can be adjusted to different colors and brightness levels.
I see. So it's a pretty simple concept, really.
Yeah, on the surface it is. But what's fascinating is the potential impact of combining those elements.
And that's exactly what I want to dive into next. Now that we've got the basics of aromatherapy down, and we understand the role of light, and we know how these diffusers work, let's get into like the nitty-gritty details. What are the specific benefits that this document is claiming? What kind of evidence do they have? And most importantly, what are your expert thoughts on all of this?
Let's explore that further.
All right, listeners, stick with us. As we continue our deep dive into the world of portable diffusers, we're about to get into the really interesting stuff.
So one thing that really stood out to me in this document was the emphasis on personalization.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not just about turning the diffuser on, you know? It's about choosing the right scent and the right light for your specific needs.
I love that. It makes it sound so customizable. Like you can create your own little aromatherapy haven tailored to like exactly what you need in that moment.
Exactly, and I think that's really important because, as we talked about before, different essential oils have different effects.
Right.
So being able to select the right blend for like your desired outcome, whether it's relaxation focus, energy boost, that's key.
Speaking of focus, you mentioned peppermint oil earlier, and the document actually cites this study from the University of Northumbria that found that inhaling peppermint aroma actually enhanced memory and alertness in participants. So what's your take on that?
It's definitely an area of active research. While more studies are needed, there's growing evidence that certain scents like peppermint can have a positive impact on cognitive function. And it goes back to what we were talking about with neurotransmitters. Peppermint oil is thought to stimulate the release of acetylcholine,
Right.
which, as we discussed,
Yeah.
is linked to attention and focus.
So it's not just a matter of like feeling more alert, it's actually impacting our brain chemistry in a way that supports cognitive performance.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where these portable diffusers get really interesting.
Right.
Imagine being able to bring that focus-enhancing aroma with you wherever you go. To the office, the library, even a long car ride.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see myself just using some peppermint oil during those afternoon slumps. But you know what? I'm also the type of person who loves a good energy boost in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
So does the document talk about any essential oils that can help with that?
Yeah, they do. They highlight citrus scents, like lemon and orange,
Okay.
which have been traditionally associated with uplifting and energizing effects. In fact, they mentioned a study from Japan where participants who inhaled lemon essential oil reported feeling more positive and motivated. Now, it's important to note that this particular study was quite small, so more research is definitely needed.
Of course, but it's still interesting to see that there's at least some evidence to support it. I know personally I find citrus scents very invigorating, so it makes sense to me that they could have an impact on mood and energy levels.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of aromatherapy.
Yeah.
It often aligns with our own kind of intuitive sense of how scents affect us.
Yeah.
We've all experienced how a certain smell can evoke a memory or an emotion.
Totally. These diffusers are essentially like tapping into that power of scent.
Right, in a more intentional way.
Absolutely. But, you know, there's also like a practical side to all of this. One thing I'm wondering is like, how long do these scents actually last? And how often do you need to refill the diffuser?
That's a great question. And unfortunately, the document doesn't provide any specifics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's likely to vary, depending on the model, the type of essential oil used, and even the intensity setting.
So we might need to do a bit more digging to figure that out.
Yeah. But I think the key takeaway here is that these portable diffusers offer a potentially really intriguing and accessible way to incorporate aromatherapy and ambient light into our daily routines. Whether you're looking to create a relaxing bedtime ritual, boost your focus during work, or simply uplift your mood, there seems to be a scent and a light combination out there to explore.
I'm with you there. And even though we need more information on like those practical details, I'm definitely leaning towards giving one of these a try.
Well, as with any new wellness tool, I would always encourage you to do your research, read reviews experiment to find what works best for you.
Good advice. Now, before we wrap up this discussion, I want to touch on one more point that the document brings up, and that is the versatility of these diffusers.
Oh, yeah.
They really emphasize how they can be used in so many different settings, from your home office to your bedside table to even a hotel room while you're traveling.
Yeah, they really play up that portability factor. And I have to say, it's a pretty compelling aspect, being able to create that personalized atmosphere of relaxation or focus wherever you go. That's pretty appealing.
Totally. I could definitely see myself using one on a plane to create a calming vibe during a long flight, or even taking it to the gym and diffusing a scent that motivates me during my workout.
Exactly. It opens up like a whole world of possibilities for incorporating aromatherapy into your life in a way that fits your individual needs and preferences.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, we have.
From the science behind aromatherapy and light therapy, to the potential benefits for relaxation focus and energy, to the convenience and versatility of these portable diffusers.
It's been quite a comprehensive exploration, I'd say.
But I have a feeling there's still more to uncover. Listeners, stay tuned as we delve into some final thoughts and considerations. In the last part of our deep dive, okay, listeners, so we've gone pretty deep into the world of these portable diffusers.
Mm,
But before we wrap things up, I want to take a minute to talk about some things that the document didn't really address.
yeah, I think that's important.
It's always good to consider both the potential benefits and the potential drawbacks of anything new.
Absolutely.
So what are some things that listeners should keep in mind if they're thinking about trying one of these out?
Well, first of all, it's important to remember that aromatherapy is a personal experience. What works really well for one person might not have any effect on someone else.
Right.
And some people might even be sensitive to certain scents.
Yeah, like how some people are really sensitive to perfumes or strong smells.
Exactly. And sensitivities can also vary depending on the specific oil used, the concentration, even the method of extraction. It's always a good idea to start with a small amount and just see how you react before you go all in.
That's a great point. And speaking of essential oils, you've mentioned the importance of quality before.
Absolutely. Not all essential oils are created equal. Look for brands that use pure, high-quality oils that are free of any kind of synthetic additives or contaminants.
Okay, so quality over quantity when it comes to essential oils.
Definitely.
Any other tips for navigating the world of essential oils?
Well, I recommend doing some research on the specific properties of different oils and their potential benefits. Some oils are known for their calming effects, while others are more stimulating.
Yeah.
Some are better for daytime use, while others might be more appropriate for evening relaxation.
So it's about finding the right oils to match your needs and preferences.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment a little bit. Find what works best for you. Aromatherapy is a very personal journey.
Good advice. Okay, and let's circle back to something we talked about earlier, those practical considerations, like how long the scents last and how often you need to refill the diffuser. The document didn't really go into detail about that.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely worth doing some research on specific models and reading user reviews to get a better sense of those aspects.
As let's be honest, no one wants to be constantly refilling their diffuser or dealing with the scent that fades away too quickly.
Exactly. It's all about finding a diffuser that really fits into your lifestyle and provides a consistent and enjoyable experience.
Okay, now I want to be sure we're not overselling these diffusers. They
Sure.
sound great, but they're not a magic solution for all of life's stresses, right?
Definitely not. It's
Yeah.
important to have realistic expectations.
Sure.
These diffusers can be a wonderful tool for creating a more calming and balanced atmosphere, but they're not going to single-handedly solve all your problems.
Right, it's not like you can just diffuse some lavender and suddenly all your worries disappear.
Exactly. They're best viewed as one element within a broader approach to well-being. That includes things like exercise, healthy eating, stress management techniques,
Right.
and of course seeking professional help when needed.
So it's about integrating these diffusers into a holistic lifestyle, not relying on them as a sole solution.
Exactly. It's about finding what works best for you and creating a personalized toolkit of strategies to support your overall well-being.
Well said. All right, as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the key takeaway you want listeners to walk away with?
Well, I think the most compelling aspect of this whole thing is the invitation to really explore the potential of our senses. Our sense of smell and our sense of sight to create a more balanced and fulfilling life.
I love that.
Maybe incorporating a portable diffuser into your routine could be a simple yet effective way to create those moments of calm and well-being amid the busyness of everyday life.
That's a beautiful thought to leave our listeners with. We've explored the science, the potential benefits, the considerations, but ultimately it's up to each individual to decide if this approach resonates with them.
Definitely, approach it with an open mind, a healthy dose of skepticism, and a willingness to experiment and see what works best for you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And on that note, we'll leave you to continue your exploration of portable diffusers. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time, stay curious.